Hello everyone, Christina here. Welcome to another live stream here at my YouTube channel. Today's live stream is going to be all about Emboss Resist, and I'm going to be using my Splatter texture background stamp. I haven't seen this one used too much, and I haven't used it myself too much, so I thought it would be really fun to play with it tonight. Hopefully this live stream will go pretty smoothly. I didn't need to do a lot of prep because everything I'm going to be showing tonight is going to be happening in real time. So let's flip over to the overhead. And oh, that's a card I have to address. I forgot I was about to address it before it was going live. Like I said, we're going to be using the Splatter texture background stamp tonight, and I'm going to be doing Emboss Resist. So in order to do anything with it, I need to do the embossing first. So we're going to do 3 backgrounds, all the same, using this one background stamp. So I'm just gonna set up my stamp wheel so that I can do all the stamping at the same time. So I'm gonna put my A2 card front down into my stamp wheel. And you know what, I found myself using my stamp wheel more and more these days. You can do all the same things with your MISTI. It's just like whatever floats your boat. This is what I'm doing, especially since now that I have a grip mat in my MISTI. I can do like literally whatever I'm doing in my stamp wheel, I can also do it in the MISTI. Okay, so I'm just marking where those corners are so that as I switch out the other 2 pieces of cardstock, because I'm making 3 cards, when I swap them out, my background stamp will be in the right spot. And that means I only have to put the background stamp onto my stamp wheel plate once. And I want all of the really heavy texture right at the bottom. And then it can kind of fade up to the top. All right. Put that onto my stamp wheel plate. All right, and before I go in with my stamping, I'm going to use an anti-static powder tool. I'm doing Emboss Resist tonight, so that means I'm going to be doing heat embossing first, melting it, and then doing all the ink blend. Brenda's asking the little corner things. These are from the Ton. These are their, I don't know what they call them anymore. They're like corner, I don't know what they're called. I had my own version of these and then realized that, well, one of you guys alerted me that they were already on the market, and I'm like, oh, never mind. So I did not release mine. Mine were probably twice as large. So I've been using the Ton ones. Okay, so anti-static powder tool. All right, and then I'm going to use Versamark ink. Alrighty, stamp that down. I'm going to use my Stampin' Bug stamp press to really 50 Shades of Crafting. The alignment guides from Altenew are much larger. They do a similar thing. I have those as well, but I've been using these small ones from the Ton as of late. Ton corner guides. I almost called them corner guides, but I wasn't sure. Thank you, Andrea. And I'm going to stamp this one more time just to make sure, because that's a really big background stamp. Press it too much this time. I'm just going to kind of walk my fingers over it. Okay. Lovely. I'll set that to the side, and I'm going to peel up this. And I'm going to set my stamp wheel to the side while I do my heat embossing. So I'm going to start with Gilded. This is a gold embossing powder from Brutus Monroe. Oh wow, it's even more textured there at the bottom, because I couldn't see where it was applying the ink, Okay. kind of wish it would have gotten more of this down here, but that's just me, user error, not stamping it well enough. So now we know for these other backgrounds, I've got to stamp it a little bit more. Okay, moving on. Let's go to the next one. And because I put those little corners in, I can just place that right down. Do my anti-static powder. And we'll do another background. You know what? Just because I want to see where I'm stamping, I'm going to switch to a white pigment ink. If I can find it. Oh, right here. A white pigment ink. So I should be able to see it sitting up on top of the cardstock in this case. So I'm hoping it'll be a little bit easier to see if I've stamped it enough. You know what I'm saying? I'll see it better this time. Okay. Once again, you know what? I'm going to do the Kathy Rakusin method. She uses her elbow. She goes in with her elbow and she just like goes for it. Because you can get a little bit more pressure from your elbow. Okay, let's see how this worked. Can I see it? Oh, I do see it, and it looks lots better. Like if I tip it in the light, I can see it. I'm going to come in with Alabaster. This time it's going to be white. And hopefully we have a better... Oh yeah, I can already tell. Can you guys see that? It's a much better impression this time. I should have just done my elbow the first time. What's interesting with that one is it hardly warped this time around. That's crazy. Yeah, this bottom portion. All right, we're going in with the elbow again. The elbow seems to be where it's at. Yeah, the Stampwheel 2.0 is great. The original Stampwheel is still good, but I like the larger size of the Stampwheel 2.0 because, I mean, if I had to like open it like this, like a Misty, it would take up lots more space, but I don't have to do that. Like I can just pick up my wheel and set it aside, just like that. Aside. And this time we are going in with, you called it, my third favorite embossing powder, silver. So we're going in with Sterling from Brutus Monroe. Oh yeah, that looks great. Okay, so now we have gold, silver, and white, although I'm tempted to redo the gold. Let's redo the gold. 50 Shades of Crafty is asking, how does your paper not buckle from the heat? You know what? I think it's because I have the embossing powder practically everywhere on the cardstock. So like there's nowhere for it to warp. I kind of find that most of the time when I get warping with heat embossing, it's because I'm heating areas that do not have embossing powder on them. Like the paper is heating up too much with nothing on it. So by embossing pretty much everywhere on the card, I think that's how I'm getting it to be a little bit more even and it's not warping as much. Does anyone else find that in the comments? Like, let us know in the comments. Do you find that as well? Like, if you're doing like a large background stamp, I find that it doesn't warp as much in that case for that reason as well, because you're heating up the entire area. Is Brutus Monroe Sterling lighter than other companies? I have not noticed it being different. It seems about the same to me. It could be, you know, what lighting you're looking at it in. Oh, that's so much better. I think the elbow is what did it. So Emboss Resist, if you've never done it before, is basically when the melted embossing powder, it creates like a slick surface on top of your project. And then when you add ink over top, the ink goes to the paper, but then you can wipe off the ink off the embossing. I'm going to ink blend on top of just some inexpensive computer paper. And I like to use this because I feel like it's less messy. Now, I have a glass mat here, and I had someone last week, I think it was on my member live, it was a live stream for my members. I was ink blending onto paper like this, and they were like, why aren't you just ink blending onto your glass mat? You can just wipe the glass mat clean when you're done. And I explained that I don't like to not know where the ink is on my black mat. And I feel like when the ink gets on the glass, then it transfers to the bottom of my paper, bottom of the project, and then it just gets everywhere. And we all know my aversion to having ink on my hands, right? No inky fingers. Okay, so I picked out 3 different color combos. We're going to start with the first one with the white right here. And these are the colors. Aren't those really fun? Like for summer, I thought that'd be totally fun. So we're going to start probably with the Buttercup because I don't want the yellow to get completely overwhelmed by the other colors. I had to move my blending brushes onto a Raskog cart, like one of those IKEA carts. But really, I'm just going to be using these brushes. These are the ones from SSS Stamps. So I'm just going to bring these out on my work surface here, and they'll just live over here, and I'll grab them as I need them. So I'm going to start with yellow. And I'm going to start from the end where there's a lot of that embossing, because we want to make sure we get the yellow up into the area that's kind of above the embossing so that we see some more of the yellow. All right, I'm going to blend this up quite a bit because I still want there to be some yellow even as we go into the pimento. Okay. And I'm going to take a microfiber cloth and I'm going to wipe that off the embossing, and it just brings back that nice stark white color. Do you guys see how bright that is? I think that's crazy. Okay. So now we're going in with pimento, which is kind of like an orangey red color. I love it. I think it's so pretty. Let's use, I'm going to go with orange. An orange blending brush. All right, and then we're going to bring pimento in. And I'm going to try to get it blending down into that Buttercup really well. It's kind of like this red-orange shade. I love it. The more I use it, the more I love it. Okay. And I'm going to be blending right over that with Dragonfruit, so I'm going to wait to clean up over the embossing powder till I'm done with the Dragonfruit. Okay, so I'm going in with pink. And I think Dragonfruit might be one of my favorite colors. I mean, let's be real. I love like every color, but this like magenta, oh, love it. It's the same reason why I love Picked Raspberry in the Distress line. That the color just, I love it so much. Almost like a true magenta. I'm loving how these are blending. These colors are delicious. They're very summery. I love it. And I know I'm getting ink on my fingers. Well, not too bad. Okay. So now I'm going to come back with my cloth again and just wipe off any of that. And we're left with this amazing background with that embossed pattern, but it's resisted by the embossing powder. So cool. I love that. All right, we're going to go to another combo this time. Let's do silver. And the colors I've chosen for that, let me get these out of the way. For the silver one, I'm going to be doing Lakefront, Watermelon, and Lilac. I know it seems weird, but I think it's going to be really pretty. So we're going to start with Lilac. All right, kind of an unexpected color combo, but I like it. I'm not mad at it. Okay, so for the gold, we are gonna go blues and greens. We're going with Peacock, Parsley, and Sprout. I rarely use Sprout, so this should be fun. Like I said, a little splotchy, but I think it will actually dry back over time. All right, wipe off any of that ink that's sitting on top of the embossing powder. And then let's look at all three backgrounds. All right, so we have the gold, the silver, and the whites, all very different. Now we get to stamp some greetings for each one of these. We're just going to stamp some greetings so that we can die cut them, and they're all going to be on white. And the stamps I'm using are the Mixed Greetings Love stamp set and the dies. This came out around Valentine's Day, and I'm like, this did not get enough love. Let's break it out. Okay, so this is my first one I'm going to stamp, and I'm just actually, I probably could do it this direction too. Yeah, we'll just do it this direction. All right, this one's going to be in Plumberry to go with this one, just because I wanted it to be a little darker than the background itself. Okay, might need to stamp this twice, we'll see. No, I'm not going to stamp it twice. I think it'll be fine. The next greeting that I'm doing is this one, which says, love you, like you, adore you. And that one's going to be in Peacock. This one's really solid. I most definitely might want to stamp it multiple times, depending on how well it stamps this first go. We'll see. Oh, I've got a little hair or something on it. Let's stamp that one more time. Maybe it'll fill in that little weird spot. Oh, let's get it in the right spot. There we go. Oh, solid. Love it. I thought we'd use just the sending hugs greeting right here. It just says sending hugs. So, I mean, yes, it's technically a Valentine's Day greeting set. Doesn't even have a Happy Valentine's Day. It does have one little Happy Valentine's Day in there, but it just has like really good generic year-round greetings, you know? Okay, so this one's going to be in Lakefront. Oh yeah, and I definitely want to stamp this twice. There we go. It's looking pretty dark, almost like the Peacock, but I think it's just because I stamped it twice and it was pretty juicy. When it dries back, it will definitely dry back to the lakefront color. My children, aka cats downstairs, are playing by the front door. I can hear them. Okay, I'm going to use a little bit of tape to hold these dies in place. Just because I'm afraid they're going to move around. I'll just run this through my machine. Okay. Looks like these are lovely and perfect. They cut out like a dream. So in the chat, let me know when you guys are adhering like a full card panel to a card base, what is your preferred adhesive or method of adhering it, and why? Like, is there a specific reason why? Let me know. I will let you know what my favorite is, and that is Tombow Extreme Adhesive because it's super strong, and I don't think I've ever had a card fall apart when I've used it. And I get the tape runner right up to the edge on all 4 sides, and then I do like about 3 swipes through the middle, and it's perfect. Pressing that down, and like, even though it was a little warped, it looks great. Okay, a bunch of you are saying glue, and I'm going to tell you why I don't use glue. Okay, the reason why I don't use glue is because it came back and bit me on the bum when I was using Distress Oxide. Some of you guys might remember this from years ago. I had done a Distress Oxide background, blended it. It was really pretty. I loved it. Did not use any moisture with it whatsoever. And then when I glued it to the back, or put the glue on the back and put it on my card front, the moisture from the glue altered the state of the oxide ink. So like any inks that react to moisture, I don't want to use glue anywhere near them because that just like totally messed things up. Do you guys remember that happening? It was in a video. I talked about it. But that's why I don't use glue. I find that tape runner, this tape runner in particular, is super strong. And I feel like I have more control over it. Like, it's so strong, like, look at this. Like, it's not coming off. I'm pretty sure, what glue was it? I'd have to go back and look. I know what card it was. Oh no, see, there we go. That's the problem with using tape runner. I know what card it was. It was in a video where I did a bunch of birthday cards. And it was, I did this really pretty ink blended background. I challenge one of our mods. So I think Dana and Andrea are here. If you go and find that video, it was like a bunch of birthday cards, like 5 or 6 birthday cards. And it was a SSS stamp release. I could probably find it if I search for it, but I'll let you guys figure that out. Okay, so here are, I'm going to put that right there, and this one's going to go right there. Simple cards tonight. So simple. Glue stick or liquid glue on top of their tape or foam tip so they have a bit of wiggle room. Yes, I think Kathy Zilski, that's who I saw that tip from. She puts the foam adhesive on, and then she puts a little bit of liquid glue on the foam tape so that she has some wiggle room when she applies it. I've done that before, but I find that it's like one more step that's like I don't necessarily want to do. And instead, I just very lightly apply the foam tape. And if you do it really lightly, you can always lift it back up. So like very lightly, and then I could lift it until I get it in the right spot. Okay. Last one. It's really just like personal preference, you know, like what adhesives you use or your method or whatever. And sometimes if you try another person's method for a bit, you might find that you love that method and that you prefer it that way. Gina, well, not always. Gina says I'm very steady-handed. Not always. Sometimes it's just wrong. Okay, I think if you wanted to, you could step these up by adding, you know, some little hearts, you know, like some other things, but I'm going to keep these really simple tonight. So here are the 3 cards for tonight with that Emboss Resist ink blending. I think they turned out so fun. This is a great way to just try out different ink blends, see how they work, see what you like. I think it's a lot of fun. I like this white one too because it's just really stark. It looks really, really cool. So I will be back with another video hopefully very soon. Sneak peeks are happening for my August release starting tomorrow on Tuesday. What is tomorrow? The 5th. So watch for those. I'll be sharing them here at YouTube and at Instagram and Facebook. So you can watch out for my new August products coming out on the 9th. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you all in another video very soon.